Let us pray. Gracious God, may the words of my mouth, may the meditations of our hearts, of our minds, even our spirits, may all of these be acceptable, O God, in your sight. O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Well, perhaps you know that I have two little white dogs that I bring to church sometimes in my office with me. And those two dogs, they absolutely love to chase things. They like to chase lizards. That's their favorite. But they're also partial to leaves and cats and skateboarders coming by. They just love to chase. But interestingly, at least to me, is that the only thing that matches their love of chasing things is their complete disinterest in catching things. They love the chase. They hate the catch. On the off occasion that they actually do catch up with that lizard or whatever it is that they're chasing, they don't do anything with it. It just sits right there under their paw, and immediately they lift up their head and their gaze off to the very next thing that they can chase. Meanwhile, the lizard or leaf or whatever it is right there by their paw, it just scampers off or blows away. This chasing obsession of my dogs, it strikes me as laughable and even borders on the absurd. That is, until I realize that I, and maybe even you, are just like they. We love to chase as well. For as humans, we chase things all the time. But just like those dogs, once we catch those things, once we actually have what it is that we thought we wanted, what happens is that our wants change. And we're no longer interested. We're no longer satisfied with what we have. And so we go back into the chase, looking for that new something, that better something, that we believe, that we hope will make us finally and completely satisfied and happy and set our souls at peace. But it never does. It never does. For there is no thing that can be won or owned or cost that by itself can do all of that for us. But there is something. There is something that can. And rather than simply tell you about it, I thought I'd show it to you. And so I have a bucket. Now this bucket, it represents you and I. And one of the reasons that this bucket does represent you and I is that it, so often like ourselves, is empty. It's empty. This bucket, it has a longing within it as we do in our own being, our own heart, our own soul that needs to be filled. And the good news is that emptiness, into it, God constantly pours blessing. I don't know if you recognize, but this is God right here in the picture. And so God is going to pour some blessing into our emptiness, thank goodness. But perhaps you can see, if you're in front here, there's a problem. And the problem is, there's a hole in the bucket. The problem is, there's a hole in our hearts, in our lives. And so when God pours blessing into us, Sometimes that blessing seems to simply disappear, like a lizard into the shrubs by my dog. And now, since we're empty, we go running off, chasing once again, trying to fill our emptiness with more blessings, more something, more things, whatever it may be. But again, alas, it only lasts for a second. Living in this way, it causes a number of unfortunate things to happen in our lives and in this world. First, living that way, it's absolutely exhausting. Running, as we do, from place to place, from person to person, from job to job, in the hope that finally we find the joy we have been looking for. It's exhausting. And it never really seems to satisfy. To bring us the peace, to bring us the joy that we long for, it only brings a weariness of spirit. Second, when we live in this kind of way, we are never fulfilled. We are once again empty. It seems like the blessings that we receive are always running out. And so we feel that we have nothing left to give anyone else. We have nothing to spare, nothing to help satisfy another's emptiness, another's need. Living in this way, it makes generosity almost impossible. Instead, it feels like we have to hold on to what we have as long as we can before it runs out. And lastly, such a life, it's frantic, it's messy, and within it, there is no peace. But as I said, there is another way. There's a way to stop all of this running around, all of this madness, and find the peace that we seek. And that way is gratitude. Gratitude. A spirit of gratitude can restore peace, can satisfy our soul. When we receive a blessing, if we can just stop our chasing for a moment and give thanks for the blessing received, not only in our heads, but also in our hearts. If we can summon up within us a sense of gratitude for the gift given, it changes everything. And it changes us. Once again, let me show you how that works, if I can. Once again, God is going to pour, as God always does, blessing into our lives. But this time, I have gratitude. It's a big G. And I am going to put some gratitude into... See, the problem in our lives, just like this sermon, is that blessings disappear really fast. So now that I have my gratitude all peeled, let me try that again. Okay, here we go. So, we have blessings that's coming into our lives, but this time I'm going to put some gratitude into my life, and if this flex tape works just like it does on TV. Poor guy cuts his boat in half. Let's see if it works. Nothing works like it does on TV. But anyway, the idea is that gratitude has allowed me here to keep that blessing in my heart. it has allowed me to keep that blessing in my spirit. And when that happens, I also come closer to God, the source of blessing, because I am reminded of the blessing. It's still in my heart, like God's very presence still within me. I'm changed because of the gratitude, not the lizards or the leaves or the skateboards or anything else I try to chase in my life, but gratitude. Paul writes in our scripture that we are to be at peace. Peace with ourselves, peace with others. That we are to encourage the faint-hearted. That we are not to return evil for evil, but always seek to do good. I don't know about you, but when I am empty, I have a hard time doing that. But when I am full, when I feel like I'm blessed, I have a better opportunity to fulfill what Paul calls us to do. And it's gratitude that allows me to do that. For within a spirit of gratitude, our feelings of frenzy, of frantic, our emptiness, all of that yields. It yields to a feeling of fullness and abundance. And that fullness and abundance allows us the courage to feel that we can share our blessings. Thus, gratitude frees us from our unending self-serving chase. Gratitude allows us to step from that life into a new life, one of service, one dedicated to not filling ourselves, but filling the needs, the longings, the emptiness of others. And as you can see, I actually do have some blessing to fill another's emptiness. That is the power of a grateful heart. So this Thanksgiving week, I urge you to take a day, maybe even two, to stop chasing all of those things that we chase, that we think will bring us happiness, and instead reflect on the gifts that we have already been given. Take time to dip your toe and your heart into a spirit of gratitude and let that spirit change you. Let it heal you. Let it fill you and connect you in a stronger way to the presence and blessing of God. And then, so healed and so filled, go and fill another's cup. Amen.